This is the tallest clock in the world. You can read it from 25 kilometers away. It sits 50 meters from Islam's holiest site. To build it, they demolished a 300-year-old fortress and an entire hill, $15 billion, for a hotel complex in the desert, more than most countries spend on anything ever. It wasn't built for tourists. It was built for 2 million people, all at once. So how do you build the world's tallest clock next to the world's most sacred site without it ever feeling wrong? Some say they never solved that question at all. Let's find out how they built it anyway. Mecca, Saudi Arabia, the holiest city in Islam. Every year, millions of Muslims travel here for Hajj. It's the single largest annual religious gathering on the planet. Every able-bodied Muslim is expected to make this journey once in their lifetime. Some save for decades just to afford the trip. By the 1990s, the mosque itself was already too small. Pilgrims had nowhere to stay, nowhere close anyway. Above one of those streets stood an old Ottoman fortress, Ajyad Fortress, built in 1780 to protect the holy city. In 2002, it came down. Some countries objected. It didn't stop the project. The hill underneath it came down too. Millions of tons of rock cleared just to make room. This is where the tower would rise. The plan, 7 towers, 1 project, 1 foundation. At the center, the tallest one, 601 meters, 120 floors, 3rd tallest building on Earth at the time. 6 more towers around it, different heights, all hotels. Zamzam Tower, 279 meters, named after the sacred well nearby. Hajar Tower, 276 meters, named after a figure central to Islamic history. Maqam and Qibla Towers, both 232 meters, built as matching twins. Marwa and Safa Towers complete the set, named after 2 hills pilgrims walk between. 7 towers, 7 different names, 1 shared foundation beneath all of them. Together, 11,000 hotel rooms, enough space for 65,000 residents at once. 5 million square meters of floor space, one of the largest buildings ever constructed by that measure. 5 different hotel brands operate inside these towers: Fairmont, Pullman, Swisstel, Rotana, Raffles. 5-star luxury built specifically for a religious pilgrimage, not a vacation. That contrast is the whole point of this complex. Luxury and devotion, sharing the exact same address. Nowhere else on Earth combines the two quite like this. None of it mattered without solving one problem first. The ground here isn't ordinary desert sand. It's compacted rock, left over from the hill that used to stand here. Good news for a foundation. Terrible news for excavation. Every basement level had to be blasted and cut by hand. Mecca regularly hits 45 degrees Celsius in summer. Construction crews worked through some of the hottest conditions on Earth, and they couldn't slow down. A steel and concrete core anchors each tower to the rock below. Reinforced concrete poured in continuous sections, floor after floor. Wind loads here are lower than in coastal cities, but at 601 meters, they still matter. Engineers widened the tower's base and tapered its upper floors to manage that load. Hajj happens every single year, on a fixed religious calendar. There was no delaying this project, ever. 16 months. That's how long the central tower's structure took to reach full height. Then came the part that made this building famous. The clock wasn't even part of the original design. Midway through construction, the king asked for one. Not a normal clock, the largest one on Earth, 4 faces, each 143 meters across. That's 5 times the size of Big Ben's clock face. The hour hand alone is 18 meters long. The minute hand, 23 meters. Adding this late meant one huge problem: weight. A heavy clock face this high up could destabilize the entire tower. So engineers built the faces from lightweight composite materials instead of solid stone. Prefabricated on the ground, assembled piece by piece. 2 million LED lights wired into the clock face itself. At night, the entire tower becomes a lighthouse for the whole city. On top of all that, a crescent moon, solid gold mosaic. 35 tons of gold-finished fiberglass lifted hundreds of meters into the air. It took 3 months just to build that one piece. One symbol, sitting 600 meters above the holiest site on Earth. Running the clock itself required its own kind of engineering. A satellite-linked system keeps the time synchronized precisely. 5 times a day the clock face pauses, to mark the call to prayer. For those 5 minutes the tallest structure in the city stops, on purpose. Near the top, 4 observation levels look out in every direction. One level is an astronomy museum. Models of the sun, the moon, the planets. It opened to the public in 2019, 7 years after the tower itself. A private viewing platform sits just behind the golden crescent itself. But a beautiful tower means nothing if it can't move people safely. This complex needed elevators built for a different kind of traffic. 404 elevators across the whole complex. Some can carry 50 people in a single trip. During Hajj, those elevators barely stop moving. The first 5 floors aren't hotel rooms at all. They are a shopping mall, built to feel like a traditional market. Above that, 11,000 rooms, most with one specific view. Rooms with a direct view of the Kaaba became some of the most expensive hotel rooms on Earth. For pilgrims who can afford it, that view is the entire reason to come here. For everyone else, prayer halls fill the lower levels instead. This building was never just a hotel. It was infrastructure for faith. It also became one of the most profitable pieces of real estate on Earth. Rooms overlooking the Kaaba can cost thousands of dollars a night during Hajj season. Multiply that by 11,000 rooms for weeks at a time, every single year. The Saudi religious tourism economy is worth billions of dollars annually. This tower became the single largest piece of that economy in one building. Compare it to other famous towers and the numbers still stand out. It's shorter than the Burj Khalifa, but it has far more floor space. It's not the tallest clock tower in ambition. It's the tallest in the world, period. No other clock on Earth has ever been built at this scale. Big Ben, the Shanghai Clock Tower, even Mecca's own older minarets. None of them come close, but building this close to the world's largest annual gathering carries real risk. In September 2015, a construction crane collapsed near the Grand Mosque. 111 people died. Hundreds more were injured. It happened during separate expansion work nearby, not on this tower itself. But it was a stark reminder of what's at stake building this close to so many people. Every crane, every scaffold, every schedule here operates under that same pressure. There is no room for a mistake at this scale. Saudi authorities later tightened crane inspection rules across every major religious site. The lesson from that tragedy shaped how projects like this one are managed today. So the project moved forward, carefully, floor by floor. By 2012, the 7 towers were complete. The most expensive building complex ever constructed at the time. $15 billion, funded entirely by the Saudi government, not a private investment, a religious endowment project, built to serve a need money alone couldn't solve: space. Today, the clock is visible from nearly anywhere in the city. Older Meccan neighborhoods, some centuries old, still surround its base. The contrast between old and new here is impossible to miss. Some residents remember exactly what stood here before. For a generation that grew up after 2012, this tower has always just been there. Every year, Hajj brings the complex back to full capacity. Every year, it empties out again just as quickly. Few buildings on Earth experience that kind of extreme, predictable cycle. Hotel staff describe it as 2 entirely different jobs depending on the season. Engineers describe it the same way. 2 different buildings on the same structure. For pilgrims walking toward the mosque, it's often the first thing they see, and the last thing they see, leaving. For many, that single view is the memory that outlasts the entire trip. Photographs of the clock tower circulate more than almost any other image from Hajj. Not every landmark needs to be beautiful to everyone. Some critics call it a distraction from the mosque it stands beside. Architectural historians have raised similar concerns since before it was even finished. Their argument: scale itself can overwhelm meaning. Others call it a necessary answer to an impossible logistics problem. Without this complex, where would those same millions of people actually stay? Two ideas, both true depending on where you stand. One fortress came down to make room for this. One hill was erased from the map entirely. 7 towers rose in its place. 11,000 rooms, 65,000 residents, 404 elevators moving pilgrims by the millions year after year. One clock face, 5 times larger than Big Ben's, readable from 25 kilometers away. In its place, the tallest clock human beings have ever built. $15 billion spent not on a monument to wealth, but on a solution to a crowd. Every stone removed, every fortress lost, every hour of desert heat endured. All of it in service of a single moment repeated by millions of people every year. That moment hasn't changed in over 1,000 years. Only the skyline around it has. Standing watch over the one place, it was never really designed to outshine.